everybody to this new video. Today we're doing something very exciting. Honestly, I love watching these videos and I've recently started journaling for like reading journals. So I'm really excited to share with you my setup for my 2024 reading journal. And it's really cool. So I'm not gonna talk about it a lot. We're just gonna go straight in. Alrighty, first things first, this is a scribble and dot notebook in the green faux leather sort of thing with the little leaf on top. It's an A5 dotted, it's pretty cute. So on the first page, I just wrote my name, and then this is the title page. So for this title page, I went with something that I thought was gonna be super easy, and then this took me like almost an hour. It's a lot of work to draw this many tiny books, but it was so much fun and it turned out so beautiful. So I just drew a whole bunch of small books just with the pen, just drawing them everywhere behind those numbers and then leaving the numbers completely blank. I'm still debating whether or not I should shade the outside of the numbers a little bit just so that you can see them a little bit more, but honestly, in the end, I think it worked out pretty well like it is. So just if you think that I should change that, if you think I should add some more shading, I might do that, so please tell me. But for now, I think it worked out pretty well and I'm kind of happy about it. But let me tell you, most of the time I was just so confused because I thought, oh my god, these books look horrible. They all turned out great. You don't need to have a lot of artistic talent to pull off this page. It's not as hard as it looks. It looks a lot more fancy and it looks like a lot more work than it actually is. I mean, it was a lot of work, but I think it's worth it because it turned out so freaking cute. I decided to write reading journal over top of the numbers and on the bottom, just in a sort of cursive lettering. This was hard for me. I'm not good at lettering. I'm not good at spelling, and I had to do both here. I mean, I actually I did this beforehand and I just traced it with the marker, but it was very tough for me. I struggled with this. I'm still not completely happy with the way that it looks, but honestly, it's as good as it will get. I need much more training with the hand lettering part of anything. This is a lot for me. I do things kind of the way they flow, and that wasn't it. Also, I'm such a big perfectionist that small things really, really bother me. But yeah, this is where I decided to draw some tiny little stars in the gaps that were too open for me. So I just drew some tiny little 4-pointed stars. They're really easy, little sparkles. And then I did some tiny little dots and a lot of erasing, and it actually turned out great. I think that especially the dots helped in the long run and in the real life picture of it, because honestly, in reality, it's a little harder to see than on camera. But I think this is a beautiful, stunning cover page, and I really like it. It's cute. I'm happy with it. For the next page, I decided to go with the classic bookshelf, all the books I read in 2024. And because I read so many books, like this year, I read 201 books and the year isn't even over. So I need a lot of space, and I calculated this a little bit. So on the first page, like all the books that I drew on the first page, that is 74 books. And then I did a little Dutch door that I'm going to show you later on. And I kind of made it so that you can either fold that Dutch door in half and have like the bookshelf on one side and the other side. And then I'm just gonna like do the other half of that page later on, because honestly, this took me so long and my wrist was already a little hurting from the first page. So it wasn't that much fun. I also decided to go without a ruler for every single thing here. I don't like the look of ruler things, and then I always drag the ruler through the pen and then it smears everywhere. It's just, I don't like it. So I went without it, and I think it turned out pretty cute. It turned out a little messy, a little, just, it looks homey. And then I added some plants, and I added a globe, and I intentionally did not make this globe realistic at all. This is definitely not anything, now looking at it. And I put a lot of books in here. I put a lot of plants. I put a little mushroom over there. You know how these pages work, right? So every time I read a book in the next year, I will write the title inside one of the book spines that I made, and then I will color that in according to what kind of medium that I read the book in. I know some people like to do it with the months. I personally don't really care for that. I have decided to give it 4 colors, one for physical books, one for Kindle Unlimited books, one for ebooks, and one for audiobooks. Because honestly, the amount of Kindle Unlimited books that I read is really, really a lot. I think it's been like almost 100 books this year. I just have a thing for it, okay? It's my happy place, and I can just admit to that. It's fine. I already cut out the Dutch door beforehand, but you'll see me turn it in a little bit. So on the back of that, I have space for 4 more shelves. So technically I can fit 8 of these shelves in. 2 of the shelves roughly hold 75 books. The left side holds less books than the right side because I just squished them in on the right. It's the whole thing, but I feel like that's enough for me, and it can definitely meet my reading. I think this is the beautiful thing about it. You can make it your own. You can make it individual. If you read a lot, you put a lot of books. If you don't, you just put a little and you put more decorations. This is a really fun page that you can do just the way that you need it. And then this is my Dutch door. For the next page, I decided to go with a reading tracker. Now, I am not sure if I'm gonna actually pull through this one, because it's a lot of work to record every single day that you read, but making this actually made me realize that we have 29 days in February this year. It's fun, I like it. So I drew a box for every single day of the year. Every single box is 1 by 2 squares. It was a lot of work, but it kind of looks cute, and I think it looks even cuter when it's filled out. I'm pretty sure that I saw this in somebody's YouTube video, but I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. So I'm gonna link a lot of the videos that I watched before creating this just down below so that you can get some more inspiration. But overall, I think this is just a really easy setup, and I just wrote the months at the bottom, and that's that page completely done. And then for the right page, I decided to explain my ratings, mostly for myself because I messed them up, okay? I'm very impulsive when it comes to rating. So I grabbed my little stamps that I have. I have little star stamps and I have little pepper stamps. I got them off of eBay or Etsy, one of them. And I honestly just got them because they were pretty cheap, but they work great. So around each of those ratings, I drew tiny little boxes. And honestly, you're gonna see me do this design for the boxes a lot. I love it. It's so easy. It looks a little messy without looking too messy. It looks like it's supposed to be messy. It's just making tiny little lines and then connecting them with dots and then connecting them with lines and dots and lines, and then you can do as many dots as you want, as many lines as you want. It's fun. And then I colored in the little stars, and then I colored in the little chili peppers. It was great. I like this page a lot, and then I'm gonna tell you more about what I write in the boxes later. The next 2 pages are honestly the greatest example of how you can make this reading journal individual, fitting to you and to your needs. So I realized that I do a lot of pre-orders of books. I pre-order a lot of books before they come out, and I always lose track of them. I never remember which ones I already have because I ordered them in so many different places. So I made a dedicated page for this where I can just put the book on the left and then where I ordered it, and then when I ordered it, when it's supposed to come out, and if it got here. And then on the right page, I decided to make some space for all my advanced readers copies. That's what ARC stands for. And it's just a place for me to write down the books that have been sent to me by authors or publishers. and with like the publication date and whether I've read them and if I've rated them online, if I've like talked about them in a video or something, because I feel like I owe this to them. They sent me those for free. So this next page is my series tracker, and I went with the same simple design as before. It's the same kind of border that looks kind of messy, kind of not messy. I love it so much, I put it everywhere. But then I made the mistake of drawing that monstera plant at the bottom there, and honestly, it looks kind of horrible. I don't like it, but I'm keeping it, mostly because I can't do anything about it. I'm just not happy. I wish I would have put more effort into this plant. So for the series tracker, it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna write the name of the series, and then I'm gonna do little dots for each of the books in the series. This next page is where I put a very, very simple bookish bingo. Honestly, it looks cute, it looks fun, it's a challenge. I didn't want to do any more challenges. I didn't want to do the A to Z challenge. I didn't want to do the book bracket. I just don't get anything out of those, but I think I can handle the bookish bingo, so I'm gonna talk to you later about what I actually put in there. And then for the DNF trash can, I don't know why I did this, honestly. I've seen other people do a DNF graveyard, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do a trash can. It was just my brain being like, yes, this is the perfect idea. By the way, do you love this like banana peel that I made? It's so fun. And then the last page is just my TBR. I'm gonna put every single book that's on my TBR on there. I know that's ambitious, but that's the plan. And that is actually the last page that I'm gonna put in this video for you, because the rest are gonna be monthly pages. Alright, I am done for now. Honestly, mostly because I just don't want to anymore. I'm done. My hand hurts so much. My wrist is in pain. I don't usually write for this long of an amount of time, but I'm done and I finished it, and now we're gonna go through it and I'm gonna tell you a few things about the book that I maybe didn't tell you before. So I think this is just general fine. With this page, I still need your opinion on this. Is the 2024 visible enough? Because I feel like it is, especially on camera. It's a lot better on camera than it actually is in person. I'm still debating whether I should do like a slight pencil outline, but I think you can see it and I can see it and I like it this way. I'm kind of happy with this page. I think it's cute. I've seen people do this with flowers, so I decided to do it with books. And then with this page, so I've decided to not color in anything. I was thinking of coloring the shelf in brown. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna color in the little plants that I put everywhere. I'm not sure yet. Please tell me if you think I should color them in. This is what the brown looks like, honestly. I've done a swap test and it doesn't bleed through, so that's alright, that's fine, it works. What I plan to do in the future is, first of all, if these are gonna be full, then I'm gonna add some more here and on the back. If that's too much, then I can still flip this page over. That's why I made this Dutch door, so that I can flip it over and then I can use as much space as I want to. I can technically also glue in another page. I want to have a lot of space for a lot of books, so this page holds 74 books. This page, maybe a few more, because this shelf is pretty full, but that's still not 200 books, and I read 200 this year, so I'm planning on reading 200 for the next year. Yeah. Speaking about reading goals, I did not put a reading goal page in here simply because I don't want to set myself a actual reading goal, because those don't motivate me. You know the drill here. I'm gonna color in each book. I'm gonna probably use different kinds of beiges and browns, just very muted, because I don't like my book being colorful. I'm more into this gray aesthetic, and I just realized, wait a second, that I forgot to draw in the flower pot around here. Wait, here we go. Okay, then we're moving on. Also, I'm still disappointed in this. I forgot how to write an N for a second, and it was just the worst. With this one, pretty simple concept again, just gonna color in every single day that I read. Now that I might hate this, I might love this, I'm not sure, I haven't done this before, so I'm just gonna try it out, and if this is too much work, then I don't care. Next we have my ratings. Now for the ratings, I went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and the same with the chili peppers. So the 1 star is basically probably a DNF. I didn't like this book, it wasn't good.
2 stars. It was okay. Something was missing, but it was fine, right? You can read this. 3 is overall good book. It's an okay book. 4, I loved this book. It was so great. And 5 is just an unforgettable book. If I gave a book 5 stars, then I think about that book after I finished it, and that's honestly the best compliment I can give a book. It's 5 stars, so of course it is. And then with the chili peppers, we have technically also 0 chili peppers, which is just like no spice and also no mention of spice. Then we have 1 chili pepper, which in my opinion is mentioned, but it's closed door. This could already be a YA book, although I would classify this as an NA book still, like new adult. Then we have 2 chili peppers, that's like 1, 2, 3 spicy scenes that are very mild and very like vanilla-esque in the spice. Then we have 3 chili peppers, that's 2+ scenes, but they are very descriptive and they are just very spicy. Then we have 4. This is where it gets darker. This is where dark romance mostly starts, with the 4. And then with 5 chili peppers, we just have too much, in my opinion. Too much. And we have a lot of kinky stuff, we have choking, we have a lot of things that honestly don't need to be in a book, in my personal opinion, but we still have the 5s. So when a book is 5 chili peppers, I'm mostly like, that's too much. It's just too much. Next, we have the pre-order and arcs page. Now this is, in my opinion, something that just makes this feel like my own, because honestly, I pre-order a lot of books. I only put 1 book in because things might change a little and I'm not entirely sure, but just as a way of doing this, put the book, where I ordered it, when I ordered it, and when the publication date is. And then with the arcs, I'm still gonna have to check on the arcs that I still have, but I'm planning on reading a lot more arcs for this year, so I put the title in, and then the publication date, and then the source where I got it, so that could either be getting it on like a website, or like getting it directly from the author, or from the publisher, I'm not sure yet. And then the little tick is if I've read the book, and then if I've rated the book online, if I put it either in a YouTube video or if I've made a post about it. And then this is the series tracker. Honestly, I don't think I have to tell you much about a series tracker. It's just tracking all of the series that I've started. The only one I put in is the Atlas, so the Atlas 6 and all of the other books in that series. The Atlas 6, the Atlas Paradox, and what was the other called? The Atlas Complex. So those are going to be put in here, and then since there's 3 books, I'm gonna just color them in, and then I'm gonna start from there. That way I can always add more books. I just want to be able to change things. And then next up we have the Bookish bingo and the DNF trash can. So I still want to draw stuff down here, but honestly right now I don't have the energy to do it, and I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna leave it blank. I might leave it blank forever because honestly, I'm not very much into too much design. I like it as plain as possible. And so the categories for my Bookish bingo are, some are harder, some are not. So we have a German book, which is probably because I have a lot of German books left on my TBR. We have a book over 1,000 pages, non-fiction, a book by a black author, and a book with the title of 1 word, a green book, a queer main character, a translated book, that can be in any language, but since I only speak 2, it's either going to be an English one or a German one, but it's translated from a different language. A book by an indie publisher, a banned book by a queer author, a book talk book, this is the bonus, the thriller, finish a series, so I have a lot of started series, and I need to finish a lot of them, and hopefully I'm gonna do this year. An arc, a book from my TBR, this is gonna be easy, a graphic novel, also not that hard, a Kindle Unlimited romance, this is like also a freebie because I read a lot of these, a reread, a borrowed book, this is gonna be hard for me because I don't usually borrow books from anybody, an audiobook, a book to movie adaptation book, a book about Greek mythology, also easy, and a classic. Please, if you have any classic recommendations that are for people who don't actually read classics, put them down below because I need to get into these classics. With the DNF trash can, I'm gonna write the books that I DNF'd in here. I saw people doing gravestones. I didn't want to do gravestones, so I did a trash can. Because honestly, in my opinion, those books belong into my personal trash can. I don't want to remember them. I don't want to do anything with them, so they're just in the trash can. And then the TBR page. I have not done anything with this. I've not filled it out. I have 270 books on my TBR right now. I cannot be bothered. Also, I'm just telling myself that it's not the end of the year yet, so I might just read some of these, and then they're not on my TBR anymore. But essentially, I'm just gonna write the book, and then I'm gonna highlight it once I've read it. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use, wait, where is it? I'm gonna use the gray highlighter, and then I'm just gonna highlight the line, and then we're done. And that's it. That is everything in this book. I hope you loved it. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little different for me. I've never really filmed this of like just putting up the reading journal. This is also the first year that I'm trying to be very committed to it, because last year's reading journal was just like in an old journal of mine, and I started in September, so it was just a little mixed and matched, but I really enjoyed making one, and I really enjoyed putting in all the books every month, and that's just something that I like to do. So I hope that I'm gonna be able to make a lot of these in the future. And yeah, I hope to see you all for the next one. Goodbye, everybody!